Now let's go over these smaller buttons. The very first one is the microphone. By default, your microphone will always be on when you go into any apps or games. If you do not want your microphone on when you enter a game, an app, or just in general, if you're on here talking with friends, you just click the microphone button off and it will turn your speech off. It's the mute button for your Oculus. The very next one is the pass-through. This one comes in handy when you have things to do and you do not want to be taking your headset on and off, but you do need to see in your environment that you're currently in. When you click the pass-through, everywhere that you see black right now, in my actual eyesight, I see my room. I see the room that I'm in and I see the area that I'm in. So if you ever need to see into your environment without removing your headset, click pass-through and you'll be able to see. To go back, click it and it'll bring you right back. When you are looking in pass-through, everything will be in black and white. And if you've been sitting on the Oculus for a good while and your view gets distorted, you just click Reset View. When you click Reset View, this will follow the comfortableness of your headset and your neck. So find somewhere that it's comfortable for you. Click confirm and it'll set it. So that way when you do move your head and your neck, it will be in a comfortable spot without being off-centered. Next we have our night mode. I always have my night mode on because it has a more sepia tone. So that way it's not as harsh on my eyes. But when we have night mode off, it turns everything to a blue tone. I'm not even sure if you can tell unless you're physically seeing into the Oculus. But I prefer to have my night mode on because I enjoy the softer feel to my screen. And it's not as harsh on my eyes since I do spend a lot more time on here. The icon next to it is the Do Not Disturb. If you're ever on here and you want to make sure nobody bothers you, you have some work to do, or you just want to have some time to yourself on the Oculus, click the Do Not Disturb. It will silence all your notifications and it won't let anything go through until you unclick it. The next one is the voice commands. This one comes in handy. You can take pictures, start recordings, end recordings, open up any apps just by using your voice. Just like a computer or a phone with voice commands, this is for your Oculus headset and it does come in handy. Now let's look at the last row. The first one is the multi-window option. When you have this off, it minimizes your screen to be directly in front of you. It's a smaller area you have to work with, but it's doable if you prefer that. When you have the multi-window on, it makes the screen bigger and higher in front of you. You can adjust it to make it smaller or full view. And if you'd like to have multiple windows open at once, you're able to do that too. So if I'd like to look at my pictures and get on my web browser, I'm able to do that. All you do is look down at whatever one you'd like. I look at my camera, click, grab. You'll see it turns gray. You can put it on this side or this side. Put it on there. You're able to do whatever you need to do on this screen while having this open. And if I want to even open my web browser, I do the same thing. I click and grab, and this is how I can go on my web browser. And now let's start closing them. You can switch them. You can put them in whatever order you'd like. Just click and drag to wherever you'd like. You can have up to 3 screens open, so that's always a good thing if you need to do multiple things at the same time while you're on your home screen. The next one is our report problem button. So when you click this is going to report an issue that you have with the headset. So let's click on it. This screen's going to pop up. This says report a problem. It gives you categories. You just click it. Scroll through the different categories. Click whatever one. Let's just click browser for now. And then it's going to say what type of problem is it. And you just click what type of problem. You can write a quick description. Your keyboard will pop up. You just click through and write it. Scroll up. It's going to send a screenshot automatically of the last thing that you were on, the last screen that you were working on, whether you're in a game, an app, or you're on your main screen. So you can send that, or you can choose not to. You can also add, let's see. Yeah, we have to write something. But when you click continue, it's going to give you the option of adding video or pictures. It just depends on if you need to actually send a lot more details. So let's X out of this. Open our quick settings back up. The very last option is hand tracking. This is on here because I do have my hand tracking on. So when I click this, you'll see what happens. Now I'm putting my controllers down because they are inactive, and my hands are the controllers. So this is picking up on my actual hand movement, and that's so funny. So this is picking up on the actual hand movement. So in order to do stuff, you use these just like you would a mouse. You point and you click. Point, click. Point, click. And in order to open up your menu, you just pinch your thumb with your index finger. And it closes it, and then it opens it. So this is a way to use your Oculus without using your actual controllers. I do try to practice on this just to get used to it because it's always a good option. But I do love my controllers too because it's easier to control. But this will be too once I get used to it. So we're going to turn the hand tracking back off, and there's two ways to do it. You can go right here and click on it and it'll turn it off, or you just pick up your controllers and click a button, and there they are again. So that was it for the quick settings. We're going to go into the rest of the taskbar right here and explain these. And then we will go into the actual settings menu and other videos to go in more detail about every single one of these areas, because they do have a lot more detail in it, but it's helpful information that will help you get to know your Oculus and will help make the experience a whole lot better. So that was it for quick settings. Now we're going to move on to the rest of the taskbar.